Today's project is the Lexus. There's some problems with it that I need to address. That's the family vehicle, and we drive it everywhere. Although, I do have to tell you guys, I drove the motorhome to the dentist's office the other day, but that was only because I needed to take it to get an appraisal for a paint job after the dentist, so it's not like I'm using that thing as my daily driver. This is the daily driver, and it's got two big issues which have sprung up, both of which I'm fairly confident I can solve right here in the driveway. So I think I can make this interesting for you all, and I've been getting some interest and some discussion on the Lexus on my older videos, so maybe I can answer some of those questions about that vehicle as well, because I do love my Lexus. Now the fun thing is the project, the motorhome project, but that's, you know, 2 years out, a year out. It's a heck of a project. The Lexus is working now, and it's fun. I love it. So let's get to work and bring it back up to full speed. So the first problem is when I turn on the truck, it gets that horrible noise. God, that's awful. And it won't stop until, let's drive it flat. So now we're sitting flat, and I'm gonna do a little of that, maybe put it into park, turn it off, and hope that it doesn't turn on again. And so usually, there we go. So now we can go for, oh, it's back on again. Anyways, eventually that will stop making the noise here in the driveway and we'll be able to drive. But it's not turning off now, so maybe this is it, and I'm replacing this at the perfect moment. Okay, so this should be the replacement. Should solve the problem. So this is a replacement boost engine or boost motor for the brake system, and according to the forums, that's the problem that I'm having. So when I bolt this in, it should just be 2 bolts and everything should work, we hope. But that is at a crazy hard to get to spot, so I need to make a custom tool in order to get this installed. So we're going to 3D print something that's going to help me with this job. Now the other problem is the passenger side rear door there where the kid sits. That window for some reason is malfunctioning. It's not rolling up and down. So we're going to take a look at that and see if we can get that to work as well. All right, let's do the easy job first, this rear window. Now you can see if I pull the button here, nothing's happening. It's trying to go up and down. You can hear the motor and it's not really working. So I think that something's kind of popped off its track, or the motor's not grabbing the windshield or the window for some reason. Now, step number 1 was that this was very sticky. The rubber and the glass were not sliding well. So the first thing you need to do, and this is actually something I recommend, I've had experience with this in the past, you want to use silicone. Don't use any other type of lubricant. Silicone spray lubricant, and you want to lubricate the rubber where the window slides. So that's what I've done. You can see some of the silicone there. And I think that it was just extremely, like there was a lot of friction, and that's why I wasn't getting good sliding to happen. And that's why this popped off its track and it's not engaging. So what I need to do now is take this whole panel off and fix whatever mechanical issue is happening inside there. And actually what I want to do also is lubricate down the track, not just the upper portion of the track here. I want to lubricate down inside there as well. Okay, so now there's a bunch of these little push button pins. They're fantastic. I love this design from Toyota. You push there in the center and it makes it so that you can pull it back out, and then you just push that back through, all the way through. There you go, like that. And so now you can reinstall it and then push that back into where it's seated. So you take these off, and then you take the screw out from behind that little plate right there. There's a couple of screws hidden under there. You see that? Right there. So I got to undo these 2. See that little catch right there? So that was sitting in there. And now this whole part will come out, and I'm sure there's some sort of an attachment that I got to get to. Maybe these 2 bolts right there I'm seeing. But anyway, that will release the door panel, and I'll be able to get that out now. All right, we're in. So let's see what's going on with that track down there and why the window's popping out of the track. Now I should show you guys that it is kind of working. But it's got some resistance, and you see how that window like kind of, oh, now it's not going to work at all. And here we find the culprit. So this thing fell off, and the reason it fell off was because there was so much resistance in the rubber here against the windshield. So the window was able to sort of stay stuck in the up position when the motor tried to like pull the windshield down, or the window down. And so instead of pulling the whole window down, it pulled just this part down, and then this part fell off. Now the good news, and it is really quite good news, is that the roller mechanism, see that right there, is kind of propping the window up. So I'm just darn lucky that the window didn't snap and shatter and break on me here. But that roller right there, that green roller that you're seeing, is meant to slide into this track right here where my thumb is. So all I need to do is really just get this clicked back on there and get that roller in the track, and everything should function just fine. And it all stems from sticky rubber, this whole problem. So everybody watching this, you need to go get some silicone lubricant and lubricate your windows so a problem like this doesn't happen to you. Well, that's all back to being installed correctly, and it feels like this is fully seated down into the track with the original rubber. It was kind of torn into two pieces, but I was able to get it put back together in there. And it does feel like, I can't, well, there's no, the end of the glass down there isn't lining up, but down here I can feel it, and I feel the glass bottoming out against the bottom of that little rubber right there. So I do feel like the glass is fully seated, and that is interesting because I'm having this problem now. See, I'm gonna roll the window up for the automatic roll up. So this is not me rolling it up, that's auto. And you see what it's doing is it's activating the safety. Say, same as if a child got his hand caught there, right? It's gonna roll down and not do it. So it's thinking that there's a child's hand caught in there, and this means the only way to get it fully rolled up now is to sort of pulse it. So that's fully rolled up, so I can get it there. So it is functional, but I'd like to be able to do it automatically. I'm having the same problem from the switch on the driver's door. Well, as you're driving down the road with the kid screaming at you in the car seat, and you're trying to like feather that window into position, that's quite the distraction. That makes for a dangerous moment, which I don't like. I would like to figure out a better solution, but I think for now this is what it's going to have to be. Yeah, because I can't see any other reason why any sort of adjustment screw or anything like that would allow me to change the sensitivity or something like that. A few people have asked in the comments what the mileage is on this rig. So right around 170,000. You know, so about halfway through its usable life. These things easily go to 300,000. I am having a little bit of problem with the height assist, or whatever you want to call this, height control. It's a little bit stubborn sometimes to change from high to low. So maybe gonna have to do that difficult troubleshooting. I'd like to keep it. I don't want to change it out for the springs. I do like the height control. I think it's a pretty nice feature. So hopefully it kind of keeps working, but probably going to be something I have to address. All right, now I need to get this part installed, and it goes underneath all of this. So I have to reach under there, past all the debris, the tree debris, and get way under there. There's a couple of screws. Yeah, apparently also I have to call to register the product for the warranty. I don't know about that. I'm just going to put it in. Not a lot that's covered under warranty with this truck. I kind of have to take it all on myself, or, you know, pay somebody to do it. But yeah, underneath all that, where it's really hard to get to. So normally I think people take apart the whole brake assembly to get to this, but somebody on the I Hate Mud forum figured out a way to do it with a special tool. So let's go make that tool right now. This is the size of Allen key, or whatever, ball-headed Allen key that I'm going to need to get the motor off from where it's mounted inside the truck. And yeah, so on this one, I've put this 3D printed component on the back there, which allows me to use a 10mm socket wrench to do that. So now I can use this one in conjunction with my, what is this, a 6mm metric wrench, and I got a lot of leverage to break that loose when it's first needing to be broken loose, and then when I need to wrench on it and just spin that from where it is, I can put this in there like so, and then work it loose. So it's a little bit more involved than if I had a stronger, like a metal insert, but I just don't want to strip out this plastic. So that's how I'm going to do this job. Let me show you guys the nightmare, the most fiddly job that I've ever had to do as far as auto mechanics go. I've removed this box, whatever this is. I've gotten it out of my way just so I can get 2 hands up underneath here. And the whole point is just to remove four screws. That's it. So there's this bracket right here, and that was underneath there. So I needed to remove this screw and that screw from this bracket. And this bracket plugs into the end. You see that white disc there? So that's just sort of a shock absorber, just a rubber, mount, like an engine mount, but just a rubbery mount just to keep this from wiggling around too much. So those are the 2 bolts that hold the back end of this little motor in place. And then at the front, there's 2 bolts that that attach this piece right here down there with a bracket. Let me show you. See, this is the replacement motor that's going in there. And you can see there's a screw right there, and then one 180 degrees off up there. So there's also 2 more screw holes from the back side. You do not touch those. So you just do this one and that one. That's 2. And then the 2 bracket screws is 4. So 4 screws will take you hours and hours to get out. It's that much of a nightmare. And then I haven't even, for some reason, this isn't breaking off of that. Like I've got to muscle this apart somehow. And after that, I've got to figure out a way to get those screws back into place. Well, it's nighttime now, but you can hear it. It's running with no horrible, annoying, crazy beeping noise. So, doing good. Problem solved. And here is the source of all my problems. Getting a better look at it, here under the light, we can just see this worn out commutator on the motor. So this is the brake boost motor. Just gives a little extra oomph. But man, this Lexus, I love it to death. It is an awesome truck, but everything about it is a violation of the KISS principle. There are so many complicated systems in this truck. So, still crazy that it goes to like 300,000 miles. But, I can't wait. I can't wait for my Cybertruck. It's going to be so much simpler. All right, so that's a successful job done, which is awesome. Unfortunately, this was not the most entertainment video. Next time, we are going to get back to work on the motorhome, and there'll be some more good content on that front. But I want to give a couple of final words about the repair job on the Lexus in case somebody finds this and I can help you guys out as far as doing that unenviable job yourself. So first of all, I took a 5mm Allen key like this one with the bent end, and I cut the bent end off of it, so I just ended up with this straight piece. And I was able to balance the screw heads on this to get them started. At least in one instance, for one of those screws, this tool is kind of absolutely needed. So yeah, there's that. And then I took this ball end, which you can get these, I got this from China, from AliExpress, so you can find them online, but you need this. This tool is absolutely critical. And I had to cut it short by about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch, I would say. Just enough to kind of just still have enough of the bearing surface there to catch my wrench. So in the end, this tool and this tool did 99% of the work. Once I broke the screws loose with this wrench, I was able to unthread them by hand using just this tool and spinning it. So that's the ratcheting tool that I made. Really not necessary, at least not in my experience. So good luck to you if you have to do that same ridiculous job. And that'll do it for this video. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.